Well, before I get into this video, want to let everybody know I'm definitely stopping the political game show channel. Um, Again, I had 3,000 views in the first video, 1,100 views in the second video, as far as episodes go, and then the third episode was a dismal 500. Again, numbers don't lie, so that's telling me no one wants to see that. I asked you for your opinion, and it was pretty much a resounding JSNIP 4. It was a kind of a cool idea. We don't have time to watch it. We like listening in the morning, get our morning news from you, and going about our business. And I honestly thought that might be what I was going to hear. Wasn't sure, but that's exactly what I heard. So having said that, I reached out to Silver Doctors. In a while before that, I reached out to SD Bullion and said, "Hey, would you be interested in possibly sponsoring my political game show channel when I get it going here in the near future?" They JM Bullion wasn't interested, and I've used them as you see in my videos in the little description. I always recommend, one of my recommended places to buy from is JM Bullion, but surprisingly, SD Bullion, which is Silver Doctors or SDBullion.com, was interested in potentially sponsoring me. So they said, "Hey, let's try it for a month. We'll give you 2 ounces of silver per show since you're going to do 4 per month, so 2, 4, 6, 8. We'll just send you the 8 ounces, and you do what you want with it. Essentially, you can give away as much as you want, but we're going to try it for a month. See how it goes." So seeing 3,000 to 1,100 to 500 viewers, don't feel real good about that. Silver Doctors, sorry about that. There's no question. We're not gonna. They're not gonna want to sponsor that. It's a failing channel. It's obvious. It's over. So what I was doing anyways is because they were gonna ship it to me all at once, and they did, the 8 ounces, and that's when I came out and said, "Look, I'm gonna give the 2 ounces I was originally gonna pay for to give to the winner. Now it's gonna be 4 ounces with the fifth ounce being the bonus question. You get 5 ounces. So essentially, I was paying for 3 ounces, and they were sponsoring the other two. So that was cool. But I said, I'm going to be buying silver every week because I'm going to have to give at least 2 or 3 ounces to them plus your 2 ounces. So he goes, well, the way we're going to have to do this is we're just going to have to ship you the 8 ounces so you can do whatever you want. So then I started thinking, I'm going to have to buy some silver, have it shipped to me, plus their 8 ounces shipped to me, and then I'm going to take whatever I need out of each episode to then reship back to someone else. And I was like, no, I'm going to keep that 8 ounces. And I thought about using those Morgans that guy gave me. As I mentioned, that might be a good thing to do. But I thought about that too. And I said, man, SD Bullion has like $7.77 shipping like any order. It keeps saying for limited time. But it said it's been at a limited time for a little while now, if you will. So I'm like, well, that makes more sense. I'll go online to their site, buy the silver, 4 or 5 ounces, since I'm keeping the 8 ounces anyways, give that to the winners. And the beauty about that is I can uncheck the shipping address does not match billing, ship it to this address, which is the person who won. So I'm only paying one shipping fee, $7.77, and then the silver. And they have very, very good pricing. So I went to JM Bullion also, place I've purchased from, before. It's great. But the small quantities that I was needing for the game show, it wouldn't let me do it online. Sorry, you gotta be, order has to be more than this or whatever. So I was like, well, shoot, because originally I was gonna do 2 or 3 ounces. Wasn't enough. JM Bullion, on the other hand, SD Bullion, I put in like 1 ounce. Yep, you can order this. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool. So I decided, again, I reached out to both. I like both of those companies. Never had an issue. But the shipping on SD Bullion was fantastic. They've shipped it out very quickly. Everybody's getting their silver. So far everybody's gotten their silver. Matter of fact, the last one may be getting it today or tomorrow. But I want to kind of give SD Bullion a shout out because they've been great to work with, even though this channel sucked. This political game show sucked. So I'm going to do that, and I emailed them like, look, my new channel sucks. Yeah, that's bottom line. I don't know any other way to put it. It sucks. And I don't want, I was anticipating much better. You wanted to do it for a month, but I'll be honest with you. I don't want to, because the first episode, they didn't agree to sponsor yet. It hadn't come up. So I already knew I'm going online, which is why the first episode was 3 ounces instead of 5. So again, I used them because I was able to get 3 ounces. JM Bullion, I couldn't. And that's how I did it. So by the time the second episode came, they were like, yeah, we'll try it for a month. Let's see how it goes. So I feel terrible right now because I don't want to do 2 more episodes as the agreement with them said. I'm going to do 4 episodes with your sponsorship. I already did the first one without it. So that means I need to do a total of 4 more, and I've done 2 more, so I need to do 2 more. It's a failure, and I don't want to, if I had 500 views and now it turns to 300, that's just rubbing salt in the wound, you know what I mean, for both parties, for poor SD Bullion and myself. So I reached out to them today, and I said, look, to date, my Political Game Show channel might have brought around 4,000 views, 3,000 plus the 1,100 and 500, 4,500 views, whatever it is. I'm like, maybe I'll do 2 or 3 videos on my JSnip4 channel and mention you guys in exchange for not doing it on the other show. And not to mention, you're going to get way more views, potential views on this channel. And they were like, yeah, we understand, and thank you for telling us, keeping it, straight with us. And, yeah, if you don't mind, put it on your other channel, for now. So that's what I'm going to do. That's why I'm telling you this. But I wanted to let you know how that whole thing happened and how I got the 2 to 3 ounces, which turned to 5 or 4 to 5 ounces. And now that I'm closing the show, because I already mentioned they did a little sponsorship, you're probably wondering, what about the extra silver? That's what's happening. So, in other words, the extra 2 ounces of silver, JSnip4 is keeping, or 2 and 2, I'm keeping, and in exchange, I'm going to mention them a few times in my next coming up videos. So here's the shout out for them. And if you are in the mood for some silver right now, again, I bought from JM Bullion and now SD Bullion. I've had great experiences at both places. However, $7.70 shipping in any quantity, 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce, whatever. You can buy it with a credit card. You can do a check. You do money order. I've checked all that out. I end up using a credit card for a little tiny fee. For $100, I think I got 5 ounces or roughly, and then like $3 credit card fee. Psh, who cares? Do it. There's a link in the bottom of this video to SD Bullion and JM Bullion, of course. But if you want to capitalize on the low shipping right now for SD Bullion, click on the link. It's got my little ID in there so they know it came from old JSnip, because I want to let them know, it's coming from me. So we'll give me an ID so it comes from my channel so you can track that. Since I'm going to be putting this on the JSnip4 channel where potentially can send some potential customers your way. You know me, I don't care if someone replied right now and said, JSnip, I've used both of them and I've had problems with both of them. I would say, hey, I respect that. I have not, and I know a lot of people who've used them both and have not. All I care about, honestly, is my subscribers. Get yourself precious metals as financial protection. Because even though Donald Trump has won, that does not mean... Do we still have $20 trillion in debt to deal with? Yes, we do. Do we still have these massive pension problems? Oh my God, yes, we do. And they're getting worse. Do we have enormous amounts of unfunded liabilities, Social Security, all this stuff? Yes, we do. It has to be dealt with still. So how is it going to be dealt with? That's my question. It's there. It can't just go away, right? So are we going to devalue ultimately? Are we going to do something else? Again, these are unknowns. Even with someone like Donald Trump, who, if he does what he says he is, and I think he will, but if he does what he says he is going to do, I feel a lot better about things, financial, economically, etc. But I know the club isn't just going to roll over for fun. Oh, he won fair and square. Well, let's just let him have it. No, because he's going to undo every freaking thing we took 150 or more years to put in place. He's going to undo it all. We cannot allow this. Right? So like I've been saying, I feel he's going to come in and try to do what he said he's going to do. And the elite are going to say, here you go. Deal with this, sucker. and the world economies are going to be in deep, 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 deep trouble. And he's going to have to preside over that. That'll be his like legacy. Good, bad, ugly, or not, whatever. Whoever's in charge right now, and it just so happened to be him, is going to get the ugly stick hit with the ugly stick when they are the ones who, like, during the worst worldwide problem in the world economically, Donald Trump was the president. It never happened before until he was president. They're going to write the history to make this guy look horrible. But for all these unknown reasons, like this I'm telling you about right now, that's why I go to precious metals. 5,000 or more years of history of this stuff protecting people's wealth through the good, bad, and ugly times. Just with the freaking election, Hillary's up. Oh, no, not. She lost her lead. Donald's up. Markets start tanking. And you would have thought gold and silver would have plummeted with those markets. And I look on there. Oh my God, gold is up $60? Silver's up 60 cents? Big move for gold. And then he's definitely winning now. Okay, we think he's got the nod. And then this huge sell-off started to become not much of a sell-off. And up 800 points down, Dow Jones and everything else. Turns into 250 down. Then the market's open. Uh-oh, still shaky. And then it freaking ends with massive green shoots. Massive green shoots. Everybody's happy. And of course, gold comes back down. Silver comes back down. I was expecting, I think a lot of people were, he got the nod. They're not disputing it. It's his. Okay, let loose on the market a little bit. And let loose again the next day. And it didn't happen. It reversed just like Brexit. Markets tanking. Oh, nope. They rebound in a matter of a couple of days, 2-3 days, or whatever it was, few days. They've rebounded. Nothing to see here. We don't care about Brexit. Donald Trump. Oh my God, he's winning. Markets crash. Markets crash. He won. Not crashing as much. Hardly crashing. Green shoots. We're off to the races. And by the way, the Dow Jones has just hit a new all-time high. And the S&P 500 is a gnat's hair away from hitting an all-time high, which is going to bring me to my next video about Bo Pony. Bo, I normally don't do videos and call people out and try to bash someone or throw them under the bus or anything like that. But sometimes I got to set the record straight for people because they don't know better. They're not aware of previous things maybe Bo said would come, etc. So I'm going to spend another little bit after this video talking about that. If you need your precious metals, again, I don't care where you get them from. You just have to have them for your protection. You have life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, and some other insurance potentially. That's normal, completely fine. Oh, I've got bankster manipulation, economic manipulation insurance. I'm sorry. Excuse me? You have what? Banker, economic, and what the hell is that? Oh, just precious metals. You bought precious metals for... How dumb is that? Well, hold on. You have health insurance, right? Yeah. You have a life insurance policy too, don't you? Yes, I do. Car insurance? Absolutely. Oh, you rent. You probably have renter's insurance. Yes, I do. You got quite a few insurances. Yeah. But I'm protecting my wealth through insurance, and that's weird to you. Doesn't make sense. Well, I'll tell you what doesn't make sense to me. The 10th Amendment of our Constitution says nothing but gold and silver coin shall be essentially deemed money for paying debts. It's still on the books. It's the Constitution. It's an amendment. And they can't write a law, by the way, to get rid of an amendment unless they have a constitutional convention take place. And then I think it's a 2/3 or some large majority that, yes, we are amending this amendment or taking it out, whatever it is, and we all are in agreement to the mass majority of us in states, etc. We agree, okay, it's gone. That never happened. You see, in 1918, a lawsuit was filed against the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve was 5 years old. And the people then, some of them awake, we know where this is going. We're going to file a lawsuit. You're taking us off of constitutional money, gold and silver, putting us on this paper money. It's unconstitutional. The Supreme Court ruled on it. Not unconstitutional. Excuse me, why not? Because they ruled the gold and silver back that dollar. So as long as the gold, precious metals, backs the dollar, it's the same. It's okay. Case dismissed. What happened after 1971? Mr. Richard Nixon, right? Taking the nation off the gold standard. Backed by nothing. Dollar backed by nothing. I would love to see a case, to be honest with you. I know how it's going to end because the federal judges and the Supreme Court, they're not going to rule in your favor because it would literally destroy all debt completely. I mean completely. Nothing, nobody would owe anything. So what I'd love to see in the lawsuit is, okay, Jason 4 against Federal Reserve, not Federal Reserve, United States government. And I'll use case law. According to so-and-so versus United States, 1918, case number such and such, the Supreme Court at that time ruled that the money not being backed, the currency, paper currency, not being backed by gold was not unconstitutional, or excuse me, the fact that the money was backed by gold made it still constitutional. I'd like to bring to everyone's attention through this lawsuit, as of 1971, we no longer back our currency by gold. So our currency is completely fiat, which means it's backed by nothing. All of our debt has been created with this unbacked currency, in which I am saying via this court case is null and void because we are not using constitutional currency, which is still on the books. The 10th Amendment states, and I quote, and here's my case, government, you have 20 days to reply. Could you imagine if that happened and they have no choice? Guys, we can't not rule on this. He's absolutely right. The 10th Amendment is still in existence. These paper dollars are backed by nothing. We got taken off the gold standard. The case law from 1918 can't work in our favor because it was backed by gold then and now it's not. Guys, what do we got? What can we possibly say to this? Well, we could tell him as a response, you could buy gold with the paper money and then use that gold to pay off your debts. And I would reply back, sorry, that's not the case because anywhere that, like my house mortgage, which I don't have mortgage anymore, but I rent, mortgage, car payment, all these things, they only accept Federal Reserve notes via writing a check or walking down there maybe with the payment in your hand. And even then, sometimes it's hard to give them cash. They only want a check or money order or bank transfer. And when you guys do a bank transfer from account to account, those digits in my bank account are these paper dollars. So you can see where this is going, right? It would be fantastic for someone to file a lawsuit and the outcome of the lawsuit be that everybody in America is now debt-free because what they claim we owe in debt was created with non-constitutional currency to begin with and has been redeemable or paid off in the same non-constitutional currency. Therefore, the whole damn thing's null and void. And now through eminent domain, you've had this car for X amount of time. You've had the house for X amount of time. It's yours. That would be fantastic. But again, all these unknowns, that's why I want precious metals for the just in case. The just in case things get really bad. And by the way, the fundamentals state they have to get bad still because we have, again, $20 trillion in debt, unfunded liabilities out the yin-yang, whether that's Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, a whole host of other things. The fact that the government is spending like drunken sailors, our GDP is still 1.2 horrible %, right? We have all these problems, and it has to be dealt with, okay? That's the reason I've got my precious metals. And again, if I'm a betting man, and I am in this case, I'm going to bet that precious metal is going to be very precious in the future. So if you ain't got any, I think you might want to get some. Talk to you later.